Cheers to adulting.
All right.
Alrighty.
Hi,
Hey.
I'm Ashley Barajas,
I'm Abby Rosemarin.
and welcome to Cheers to Adulting.
Cheers.
Shalom.
Shalom.
It's a great way to start the Passover Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So we are. Whoa, Abby, caught it just in the nick of time. We are such baby podcasters. So we don't quite have a really good setup yet. Like mic qualities are different for mine and Abby's, even though we have the same goddamn microphone. And I tested the microphone before we recorded, and it was fine, but you know what? You live, you learn.
You get loves.
You get loves. Like the diapers.
Like the diapers. You just revert back to a baby. That's what I'm trying to say here.
So yeah, we're Cheers to Adulting. So we try and give advice, tips, life hacks, jinx.
Double jinx.
Oh man. And we also talk about our own personal triumphs, struggles as adults.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I mean, let's admit it, adulting is fucking hard.
Seriously.
We're all just trying to figure it out, no matter if you're 31 like us, or you're 51, you know? You never know. So this episode, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things, and obviously our show's favorite things, alcohol. So we're going to talk about, you know, fun uses for alcohol other than getting wasted. Anything you want to add to that?
I mean, it's hard to believe that there's anything that you could do with alcohol other than getting wasted, but it's surprisingly there is.
Yeah. So before we, really jump into that, we have a time that we're trying to think of a name. So if you have any suggestions, please email us Email us at cheerstoadulting.com. So this is the we fucked up time, or the cone of shame, where we talk about where we fucked up in our last episode. So anyone who listened to last episode, thank you. We know it was long. We're trying to keep it short this episode. I know that you heard typing in the background, and that's because I couldn't remember the name of a merkin, and I was adamant about finding it mid-podcasting. So that's why the typing. We're trying to improve our sound quality. It should sound better than last time. Yeah. I feel like all the fucked up cone of shame is me.
Oh no, I've got some over here. You know.
I know that I mixed up diluted with undiluted when I was talking about vinegar. So what I meant to say was vinegar, if it's undiluted and hot, that's when it will work. If it's diluted with water and it's room temperature, it's not going to work as well. Abby?
Well, my big I fucked up moment was when talking about boiling water. So this is actually something that Ashley was able to research, and basically researching, especially on Angie's List, where, you know, I mean, that is the place. If you're looking for a plumber or someone to fix your shit, like, you go on Angie's List. And we don't even get paid to say that. I'm just putting it out there. But a lot of the people on there, a lot of the plumbers pointed out that if you have PVC pipes, the last thing you want to be doing is putting boiling water down your pipes, because you could loosen your joints and then you're going to have a bad time. And they also
I feel like that's a personal problem.
You might want to see a doctor if you're... But on top of that, regardless as to what pipes you have and how loose those joints are, you need to be really careful.
Like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Oh, the imagery. On if you have a porcelain sink, you have to be very careful about not pouring the boiling water into the porcelain sink. You want it to go directly down the drain. So you want to do something like, heat it up in a tea kettle, something where you can control how you're pouring it. You don't just want to boil it in a big ass pot and then throw, just dump it down the sink. You're, again, going to have a bad time. So you heat it up in a tea kettle, you try to get it directly into the drain, and that's only if you do not have PVC pipes.
Cool. One thing I feel like we should have started talking about the episode. We started English is hard. So our themed shot and drink for this episode, we started our shot with a shot of honey whiskey. Mm-hmm. And our drink of the show is Hot Toddies because Ashley's stuffy and sick.
And I was sick last time we recorded. It's just a
cycle.
Yep.
We'll just constantly be blowing her nose and be full of phlegm. It's so nasty.
Coughing to the mic.
Right? It'd be one thing if it was like laryngitis and then I'd have like a deep, sexy voice. I'm okay with that. But now I just sound like I'm like really nerdy.
Wait a minute, you're not really nerdy?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm nerdy. Well, like also like geekier. I don't know. So, let's talk about some adulty things that we did this week.
All right.
Do you want to start us off about some adulty shit that you did or did not do?
Yeah, you know what? We'll start it off, and we're going to start off with a little bit of shaming because it's not just about celebrating our adulting, but recognizing when we're not really being an adult. And I feel like this week I was not an adult. And I'm going to blame it on the fact that I am a very codependent person in my marriage. My husband was away for business Sunday through late Wednesday night. And basically all adulting kind of fell by the wayside in terms of cooking. Now, cooking is always a weak spot for me. Like, I'm too universal of an eater and I'm too lazy. That means I go home and I'm like, I guess I'm having saltine crackers and lemon juice for dinner. Like, I mean, maybe not that bad, but
saltine and peanut butter.
There we go. And so my husband had actually made biscuits and gravy before.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good, and he knows how to make good biscuits and gravy. But it's just the two of us. But we made the full was it a 8 or 9 biscuit, or it has to be 8 biscuits because it's even a huge thing of the sausage gravy. And, we had it for breakfast on the weekend before he left. And then that was basically my food for like about 48 hours. It was like, okay,
oh my God.
Sunday night, looks like I'm having biscuits and gravy. Oh, it's Monday in between my classes. I'm having some biscuits and gravy. Tuesday morning, well, I mean, it is technically a breakfast.
I'm still not seeing the non-adult here. You're eating.
I am eating. This is true. And Tuesday night, I made tacos because if there's one meal that I can make, it is tacos. And then I had tacos until he came home. I was like, all right, leftover tacos, taco salad, just the taco meat. Oh, hi, honey. Welcome back from Alabama.
And I mean, we may or may not have had tacos for dinner tonight.
Yeah. There's no such thing as too much tacos in my eyes.
Okay. So, I grew up in Texas, and I grew up in a very Mexican-American family. And honestly, there is a moment where you ask your parents, do we have to have Mexican food again? And you're like, I'm sick of tacos. There is a moment where you're like, I'm fucking sick of tacos, okay? As an adult now, I'm like, what was I thinking? But then again, I don't want to say I was like a picky eater, but I don't like to have the same thing over and over again. I like variety in life, okay?
It's the spice of life, hello.
Yeah, like I have a very refined palate. I call myself like a foodie or something. But yeah, I definitely at one point got sick of tacos. Now that if I want tacos, I have to make it myself. I definitely mourn the loss of being away from home and the fact that I have to explain to other humans in New England what breakfast tacos are. I miss breakfast tacos. Yeah, so my adulting for the week. I finally put away all my laundry.
Hell yes.
But, like, you don't understand. So, I basically have barely been home for, like, the past 3 weeks. I was house dog sitting for, like, 10 days. So, I wasn't home. And I had a bunch of, I had the laundry that I needed in the suitcase when I was staying there. And then I, like, did some laundry there. So, I had a bunch of clean laundry here. I finally put it all away. Yay me. But then, because I've been busy and not really home, I've had a bunch of random shit just scattered around. And this morning, my boyfriend Michael, he gave me the usual frustrated but very polite request to clean up my shit. He was real smart to follow it up with a kiss and a hug, because I'm a huge smushy person. But, like, I knew that I was going to have human beings here that weren't us. And so I needed to clean up anyway. So it lit a fire under my ass. I was, quote unquote, late to work, but no one was there, so it didn't really matter. So yeah, I was so proud of myself that I did that, put away dishes, clean some dishes, and more adulting, like, extra bonus points for the week. I helped a friend clean up in his house because his wife had surgery, and he was like, cleaning, I don't like it. And he paid me in what I, desire most, food and booze.
Right.
That's all. Well, it's not always what I need, but it was what I needed for the time,
Right. What
Adulting
you needed.
fuck. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna tell you some awesome, fun things for alcohol. Yeah. So let's start off with tequila. My favorite. So, y'all, tequila can help you lose weight. All right. So this is not just like, something you see on the very clickbaity article. All right. So I was very adamant on finding, because I knew that there was a scientific article out there. So there is a article published in the British Journal of Nutrition on the physiological effects of dietary fructones extracted from agave tequilana, something, et cetera, et cetera. So this is not that article that your aunt twice removed, that one, the article that your relative shares, Facebook posts of sad dogs, soldiers, creepy Jesus pictures, and they're like, I'll bet this won't get 1,000 likes, or most people wouldn't share this, or you'll die a slow and painful death if you don't share it. So it's
tap amen if you agree.
Yes. Oh, comment if you agree, or like if, so bullshit. So this is like legit science. So I found an article on tequila, so I found it's from British Journal of Nutrition, but I linked it from lifehack.org, which is seeming to be my go-to for a lot of research.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, quote, not to be confused with agave nectar, agavins have a less refined molecular structure which doesn't raise the blood sugar levels. As a result, many of the calories pass through the system unused as opposed to other alcohol sugars, which are not so glycemic index friendly. It also stimulates the metabolism and helps to dissolve fats.
It dissolves the facts.
It dissolves the facts. Alternative truths.
You are fake news.
So yeah, long story short, TLDL, too long to listen. It goes without saying. So you want to drink tequila, you want it to help you lose weight, but it's not really going to do anything if you're mixing it with sugary margaritas.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love margaritas, but you can do, they have, like, skinny girl margaritas, all right? And the thing is also that when if you want to reap in the benefits, obviously you want in everything in moderation, obviously. And there are ways that you can enjoy if it's like really, really nice tequila. And of course, you're only going to really reap the benefits of tequila if it's 100% agave. If it's a really nice tequila, I found that if you order a really nice tequila like at the bar or if you're doing it at home, a squeeze of lime is all you need over ice. And just sipping it. A lot of people shoot back tequila in shot form. I know, me on the reg, wet. But like a really nice tequila is good to sip, and
like a nice gin or something.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, like that honey gin we had that one time.
Yes, that's good stuff.
Who? Alex. Thank you, Alex. So make sure that if you want to reap the benefits of that weight loss of 100% agave tequila, that you're being smart about it, not adding a bunch of sugars into that. You can always add, double on double agave nectar with your agave tequila. There's lots of low glycemic, very like diabetic friendly sort of stuff that you can do. One of my favorites, not to plug or anything, I like soda, but I don't drink it, obviously, because it's not good for you. But there's a sugar-free soda that I really, really love. It's called Zevia, and it's sweetened with stevia, but they also use monk fruit. And that's a great 0-calorie, like all-natural sort of thing that can make a really good margarita. So yeah, one other thing, according to lifehack.org, tequila is also a prebiotic and a probiotic. So yay, happy pooping and happy digestion. I did see some references to tequila helping with insomnia, but I didn't find anything scientific evidence or enough sourcing that I would so like do it at your own risk. If it helps you, yay. Obviously, like getting drunk on anything is not going to give you good sleep at all. No. You'll fall asleep easily, yes, but it's not going to be good quality sleep.
Oh yeah, that's
sleep,
actually
it's not going to be good quality.
You will not get good sleep. And that's actually something I'll be getting into much later on in the podcast. So that was a nice little prelude to what I'll talk about later.
So Abby, take it away with bourbon.
Right. So I'm not. I'm loving the sound effects this week. I'm loving it. So I'm not going to be talking about the sleep thing just yet. I'm going to be specifically talking about the beautiful thing that is known as the hot toddy. So, I mean, speaking of me and my codependent marriage, I learned about hot toddies through my husband. I used to be a preschool teacher.
The non-drinker.
The non-drinker. That's the best thing. Like, for those who don't know my husband, first and foremost, God bless you, and you're missing out.
Yup.
But yeah, my husband has had exactly 2 drinks in his entire life, and he just doesn't drink. It's not for him.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it. Like, he has such a personality that I don't think you would want to see what he's like if he had no inhibitions.
No.
Like,
no.
And he's fun sober. Like,
I like fun sober people.
Right?
Who can tolerate our drunk asses.
Exactly. You need that, especially with me.
Bye.
We are hot messes. Anyway. So I used to be a preschool teacher, and as you can imagine, preschools are just cesspools of germs, and you get sick a lot. And I used to get this terrible cold where the coughing would just not stop, and like I would be just done. I would have consumption. Like, there's no other way to put that. And I would cough all night long. I would get no sleep, and nothing worked. Yeah, NyQuil didn't work. You could load me up on Robitussin, you could load me up on Mucinex, nothing. And then my husband started making me hot toddies, and I had actually no idea what a hot toddy was until he made it, and that was the only thing that would stop me from coughing. So for those who don't know, hot toddy is typically tea with whiskey, honey, and lemon. Sometimes it's also just hot water, whiskey, honey, and a lemon. Sometimes you can add in spices. Cinnamon is the most common one to add in.
Like our hot toddy today.
Oh yeah, like today's hot toddy.
Creamed honey with cinnamon.
I love that creamed honey.
You're nasty. Yeah.
So apparently, well, nothing can be fully confirmed. One story is to its origins dates back to the 18th century with Scottish doctors. Of course, Scotland is the one who started the hot toddy.
Oh, lassie.
Right? And specifically, the medicine was actually the raw scotch, but raw scotch was disgusting. And so what they would do is they would make the drink to hide how disgusting raw scotch was. They would put sugar, dates, saffron, mace nuts, cinnamon in it, and apparently that was the original hot toddy. So does this actually work? Is this more than just placebo effect? And I'll do a little digression here and say that, even if this didn't scientifically work, placebo effect is a thing. It is scientifically, documented that if we genuinely believe it's going to help us, there's a really good chance it's going to help us.
Preach.
Right? But good news, scientifically, hot toddies can actually help us out.
Yay!
So, why does it help us out? Well, the first one is the booze. Whiskey is a great decongestant. The alcohol actually helps dilate the blood vessels, which makes it easier for your mucous membranes to deal with the infection. It also helps bring more immune cells into the nose. If you add things like spices like cinnamon, spices can help stimulate saliva, which can really help a sore throat out. Likewise, the lemon and honey are going to help out your throat. They help stimulate the same saliva, the same mucus. Lemon juice also adds in antioxidants. We get our vitamin C going on. It helps clear out our nasal passages from lingering germs. Our honey is just a wonderful, wonderful substance. Thank you, bees, for creating this shit.
Save the bees.
Right? Let's save the bees, motherfuckers. Like, come on. I think that should be the slogan. Save the bees,
Save
motherfuckers.
The bees. That's the title of our episode. Save the bees, motherfuckers.
Right? But aside from saving the bees, motherfuckers, the very thick consistency helps coat the throat, so it can help soothe it when it's sore. So also, they believe the sweet taste of honey can help trigger nerve endings that will also protect the throat from that consistent coughing. And a small amount of whiskey, and the key word there is, no more than really a shot glass's worth, can be a sedative. So stress and anxiety, most of us know that has a really bad impact on our immune system, and it lowers our resistance. So if you're worried and stressed, you could take a hot toddy the way you might take, a mild sedative, and it might help you kind of cool, calm yourself down. It might be easier to fall asleep, and then likewise, as you sleep, you're able to build up your resistance. You're able to fight off what you need to fight off. But as I said before, you want to go light on the whiskey. We're talking about really no more than a shot glass. It's really not going to be good for your cold in large doses.
You know what? Shut your mouth. I do what I want, Abby. Right? Don't you judge me.
Given that we've had I don't even know how many shots worth of that honey whiskey right now. Like, no one's driving anytime soon.
We've been taking it slow today.
Exactly.
So
we are not the hot mess that we were a couple weeks ago. So.
Yeah.
We weren't doing just 3 shots in a row, and we're like, good enough.
But, that wasn't on purpose, though.
That wasn't on purpose.
That was us and our inability to accept fucking up the shot and making it look pretty. And we're like, we're not going to throw out the shot as we're trying to make it. We got to do it.
We just got shit-faced on our quest to perfection,
I like it.
I feel like that might be my memoir title someday. Shit-faced on the quest for perfection.
That's my life motto now.
Right? I need a t-shirt of that. But on that note, really the only other note that I have about, making sure you keep it moderate is alcohol does dehydrate the body, and most of us know you need to stay hydrated when you're sick. You need plenty of fluids.
And it can weaken your immune system too.
Exactly. It might sound like fun to get really drunk when you are just like destroyed out of your mind sick, but it's actually you're gonna do some damage to yourself in the long run. But that, my friends, is the hot toddy in a nutshell, or should I say in a glass.
Oh god, you're so nerdy. All right, so we're gonna move on to one of my favorites and godsends, gin. Okay, I've definitely heard often people describe it as tasting like a Christmas tree. I don't get that. Do you?
I've never had gin and went, this tastes like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, but I've heard that so often of people describing it as Christmas tree. Anyway, I love the taste of it. Like when it comes to alcohols, things that I don't mind if it's strong, tequila and gin. Maybe because I'm not buying like cheap shit, but I'm also not buying like expensive shit. Like whatever, I'm fucking poor. So I can't really express how much gin has really made my life so much easier and so much more bearable. So I used to have a copper IUD, which doesn't have hormones, which meant my periods weren't controlled. And so basically they were free range.
Free range?
Yeah, and my periods were a feral bitch. So my cramps were the fucking worst. I also could feel when I was ovulating. The pain was so bad. So but the word for pain during ovulating is a fun word. It's called middle schmerz.
You know what? It sounds exactly like
I
it feels.
legit sent a text to a previous boss of mine and said that I'm going to be late, very late to work because of middle schmerz. And she's like, what the fuck?
Google that.
Yeah, it's like German for like middle pain. So like the ovulation pain was so bad, I thought that I was going to need to go to the hospital. And Michael was gone traveling. And so what I did is I got a heating pad. I took some Excedrin or Advil or something, and spoiler alert, I took a little hit of some weed, whatever, because I knew it was going to help with the pain. It was going to help me fall asleep.
Legal in Massachusetts, y'all.
It
Let's
is
just put
legal
that
in
out there.
Massachusetts. And I was living in Massachusetts at the time. But yeah, it was so awful. Like it woke me up from the pain. And it took a long time for me to fall asleep, and I was so exhausted. So I was like, I'm going to go into work, but it's going to be late. So long story short. So at some point, I discovered that gin can help with menstrual cramps. And the reason why is because of juniper berries. And juniper berries are the key aspect of gin. Like technically it's not gin unless there's juniper berries. Like that has to be like the largest like flavor of gin. And apparently like juniper berries have been used for medicinal purposes like all the way back to Egypt, apparently. Yeah, so juniper berries have been shown to help with chronic pain, with joint pain, gout. Yeah, so it helps loosen up things. So obviously that's going to really help with menstrual cramps, which is basically like it's cramps, it's cramping. Your muscles are spasming. Also, like if us talking about periods or menstrual cramps is freaking you out and it makes you want to turn off, because like fuck you, okay?
Right.
Like
It's
it's
2018,
natural. Yeah,
yeah,
it's just like whatever. And I don't want this to deter, men from listening to our podcast, because I'm absolutely like he for she and she for he. And I love, and I'm just like filled with warmth whenever I come across a male friend that's just like whatever, about it. So if you're still listening, thank you. You are our people.
You're our people.
And then one more thing on gin. One thing that I did see, but it didn't have. Well, it was on howstuffworks.com, which is my fucking jam. Howstuffworks.com has really amazing podcasts. That when I first started listening to podcasts, they had I'll absolutely plug them, even though they don't know who I am.
Right.
Howstuffworks.com. I love their podcasts, like Stuff You Should Know and Stuff to Blow Your Mind. I love learning new things. It just like that tickles my fancy, and they have great podcasts if you want to learn nerdy shit and just like weird things Anyway, so on their website, apparently gin can be helpful for colds as well. Yeah. So they were more specific in regards to the juniper and juniper oil. But whatever, gin, same difference. But it can help apparently get rid of coughs and congestion. So yeah, they didn't say it specifically. I'm paraphrasing. But yeah. So Abby, why don't you tell us some fun things about one of my favorite things, wine.
All right, and I'm going to be talking specifically about red wine. And
Stay close to me.
Oh, the early 90s are calling, and I'm answering
That's
the
like
call.
my childhood.
I know, right? And I mean, it's kind of saying something that like one of our favorite childhood songs is about getting wasted because like you're heartbroken, but yeah, that's all good.
And well, like not to like make it all like Debbie Downer or whatever, but it makes me think of my dad because he loved that song, and I think it was probably like now one.
Remember
now
that?
3.
When the nows were like in the single digits.
Oh,
like,
we definitely own some now CDs. That's aging us hard. I don't care.
Now it's like now 355.
Yeah, or 5,400.
I feel like that's like one of those memes where it's like, you know, if you
if you lived in the 90s, you had a great childhood.
I like the ones that go like totally the like jaded route where it's like if you wore these type of sandals, you're currently using a night serum. AKA you old bitch.
Oh God.
But anyways, back to the red wine. I wanted to tackle what I have seen everywhere, and it kind of annoys me because this is one of those like stupid articles that your stupid aunt like posts in between her like type amen if you agree, like that shit.
Let's call her Deborah.
All right. Fucking Deborah.
Yeah, Deborah Aunt Deborah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I don't have an Aunt Deborah, so I'm
And to my friends who are named Deborah, I still love you. You're not my aunt, so it's all good. But Aunt Deborah,
I know I know like 2 Deborahs, but like you're great and you're not Aunt Deborah.
Exactly. You are not Aunt Deborah, but fucking Aunt
Fucking Aunt Deborah.
Fucking Aunt Deborah would post shit like this, which is the drinking 2 glasses of red wine will help you lose weight, or specifically drinking a glass of red wine at night will help you lose weight. I don't know why she became so that.
Are you trying to shit on my Southern heritage?
I am not trying to shit on the Southern heritage. I actually slip into accents from time to time. Like it was to the point when I started a new job. It was actually a preschool job. It was my first couple days. There was something a kid did, and it just made me laugh. Like it tickled my funny bone. And I forget how I said it, but I said it and I forget what I said too. But I said it in such a way that the woman went, "Wait, where? I thought you were from Boston. Where are you from?" Because I guess I had like slipped into like either a Southern accent or something like that. But it just got. Apparently, I like to just travel around. Like I'm a Boston girl. Usually, I slip into a Boston accent.
My mother is the exact, and so she likes to attest it to the fact that she was a flight attendant. I think.
That makes sense.
Oh shit! Well, I'll get back to it. But yeah, when she talks to someone, if they have a thick accent, she takes on their accent. Yeah. If she's talking to her friend who's like Venezuelan and Jewish, it's a very interesting accent and she gets into it. If she's talking to her friend Elaine, she's like, "Oh, how you doing? How's that?" And I'm like, "You know what?" Meanwhile, like when people ask me, when they discovered that I'm from Texas, they're like, "But you don't have an accent." And you know what my response is? Well, I mean, my parents taught me English.
Oh, snap.
And then I say y'all, and it's all destroyed.
It's all good. I mean, most people, when they find out that I'm from Boston, they'll be like, "You don't have an accent." I'm like, wait until I'm tired. That's usually when it
Wait
kicks
till
in.
Abby's drunk.
Yeah, tired, drunk, worked up. But my favorite thing is the fact that the word tired is actually a telltale Boston word. Like usually when people think like Boston accent, they think "Pack you can, have it yad," which first and foremost, that's a fucking walking area. The fuck are you doing, kid? Pack you can, have it yad. But
fucking kid,
man.
piss a kid,
right?
Wicked piss.
You're drinking too many beers, kid. You Get fucking drunk. But tired is a telltale Boston word. It's tired. If you're
Tired.
yeah, I'm fucking tired, kid. The fuck is wrong with you? Go fuck off, you fucking jag off. And that's the other thing too. You can't do the Boston accent.
Continue.
And that's the thing about the Boston accent, though. You can't do the Boston accent without immediately falling into F-bombs.
Tired. Oh,
You're fucking tired.
Fackin'.
You're fucking tired.
Fackin'.
Exactly. FAHKGIN apostrophe.
I would say like FEH.
Oh,
Fackin'.
Fackin'.
Fackin' tired, kid.
Unless you're from Medford, because then I think it goes a little
Medford.
fackin'. From Medford. You're from
Medford.
fucking Medford.
Yeah.
You're fucking townie. You're fucking townie. Okay, you know what? This was supposed to be...
So wine.
Yeah. red
Aunt
wine.
Deborah and wine.
Fucking
Bring
Aunt
us
Deborah.
back.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. So, we've probably seen this stupid article about drinking red wine is going to help you lose weight. So, where did this come from? So it was essentially a bastardization of this Washington State University experiment. This is the one that has been misrepresented across the board. It is to the point that even...
Not to interrupt you, but what year was this study done?
I believe this was 2012, but I'm not. Don't hold me up to this one because
Okay.
I
was just curious.
The 2012 was definitely, there was a second study done with bumblebees, which I'll also get into in a little bit.
Okay.
I know, bumblebees.
Oh.
Save the bees, motherfucker, and also get them drunk.
Save the bumblebees.
And get them wasted. So I won't say that it was definitely 2012 because then that's going to be my like I fucked up in the next podcast like
Some
sorry
year
guys.
between 2000 and now.
Yeah, it was recent enough.
Ish.
Recent-ish. So what happened in the Washington State University experiment is they were feeding mice this high-fat diet. And there was a control group that got nothing at all. And then there was...
Like they starved the mice?
Okay, so they didn't starve the mice. They had their nice, yummy diet, but they didn't get wasted. They got
Okay.
none of the wine stuff. Well, they really didn't get wine. But the mice who were doing in the variable group, they were given what's called, I'm going to completely butcher this. I've been trying to rehearse this as many times as I can, but I'm still going to butcher it. Resveratrol.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Gesundheit.
Yeah.
Which is an antioxidant compound found in wine. And they found that those who had, let's just call it the good R, shall we? Gained 40%.
Is that like a drug? The good
I'm going
R.
to give you the good R, baby. Or a sex act. Like,
Ooh.
I'm going to give you the good R.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I can go either way.
Yeah. We'll have to just test it out, you know?
All right.
All right.
You and me.
It's for the
Let's
next
do
video.
this.
Now that one's going to be a special video for the people who...
Yeah, if you want to, we can create a Patreon for this. If you want to see that, just kidding. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, we're not descending into pornography, people. I'm sorry.
Well, because Abby won't agree.
Damn me and my,
Yeah, she's
standards.
strictly dickly. Whatever.
Codependent in my marriage, which is probably not healthy, but that's for another adulting episode. But anyways, so even when they released this, I think they had an idea that this could get twisted on them real quick. So they even said
Alternative facts.
Exactly. They were worried about the alternative facts. So even the authors said when it came out that this doesn't mean drinking wine will keep you from gaining weight, and it doesn't mean that drinking wine will help you lose weight. And guess how much the people writing those fucking articles listened? First and foremost, what is the good R? The good R is, again, found in red wine, and it is known to help convert what's known as white fat into beige or gray fat, depending on what source you are referencing. So beige/gray fat is supposed to be easier to...
So like boring, basic fat.
Yeah, it's the basic fat that it's easier to get rid of. It's just like our basic friends. They're just easier to get rid of.
Yeah.
So that's where that first bit came from. And then but why at night? Why do you have to drink these 2 glasses at night? That comes from the 2012 study with bumblebees, which found that giving them the good R seemed to make them eat less. So they assumed, well, if you drink this wine at night, you won't eat midnight snacks anymore, and therefore you'll lose weight. So as you can imagine, given how my vitriol as I've been talking about this is a whole lot of bollocks. Like I'm sorry, this is not actually true. It's not.
Get out.
Right?
Get out
right
now.
This was a fucking plot twist.
You know what? I don't want to hear this.
Oh, shut your basic mouth. You're basic. you're like that white fat, or the beige fat. You're
you know what? You're beige fat. Get out of my house. Get out.
I'm gonna cut you out like I cut out fat.
Oh God, that was.
I didn't mean it like that.
Let's cut that from the podcast.
So at the end of the day, it's not going to help you with weight loss. It is potentially going to help maintain your weight if you are already someone who drinks 1 or 2 glasses of wine a day. So there was these other studies done. There was one done by the Archives of Internal Medicine in 2010. It was an 8-year study of 19,000 middle-aged women. They were all of normal weight who already drank a moderate amount of alcohol. And I should say here that this is alcohol across the board, such as a glass of red wine, but it could have been a different drink. They were less likely to become overweight or obese as they aged than women who didn't drink at all. And then likewise, there was another study, Women's Health Initiative followed 16,000 women over a 7-year span. This time, they got the same findings, but specifically wine was more effective than liquor or beer. So it can help maintain your weight, at least according to these studies. But the key here is moderation. If you don't drink, we're not telling you to go down the street to the liquor store, or if you're from Boston,
Abby's not. I am. I'm just kidding.
to go down to the fucking Packy and get yourself some fucking red wine, kid. If you don't drink, you don't need to start drinking. If you already have, a glass of red wine, it could help maintain your weight. But the key is here, moderate. Because if you are drinking more than a moderate amount, that's going to cause a whole slew of health problems. We're talking liver inflammation, we're talking high blood pressure, we're talking increased risks of cancer. It's just not good. This is not, if little is good, more is better. And furthermore, let's just put it out there, and I know this is going to be a shock to some people, mice and bees are not people.
They're not?
I know businesses are people according to Mitt Romney, but mice and bumblebees. I brought it back, baby. With all the political turmoil we have in 2018, I brought it back to 2012, bitch. But at the end of the day, they have different metabolisms. And, mice and humans do share a lot of DNA, but we're still different.
Yep.
At the end of the day, what happens in a mouse's body is not guaranteed to happen in a human's body. And likewise, if we want to lose weight, here's the huge womp womp. Moderate physical activity and a healthy diet with whole foods that are high in fiber and low in added sugars, that's going to help you lose weight at the end of the day. It's not
exercise and diet can help me lose weight?
I know.
Oh my God.
Jeez, where was this information all?
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh my God.
This whole fucking time.
Right? And I have to add in this quote that I caught from Smithsonian Magazine, where it's like, if you're looking for that magic weight loss beverage, try water.
Fuck you, Smithsonian.
Right? And some other stuff about the good R. It is only one in a group of antioxidants that can help with maintaining weight. These are found in fruit, honestly.
Blueberries.
Right? If you want to up the antioxidants, including the good R, you can eat a bunch of grapes. And you're actually going to find more of the good R and more of those other antioxidants in grapes than you are in wine. Really only a fraction of the good R stays when it converts over into wine. And let's not forget, people, wine has calories. I know, shock. I am giving some fucking, it is just, I'm hitting it left and right, but wine has calories. And if you are drinking 2 glasses of wine, we're talking about an extra 250 calories a day. So you're basically eating 2 Snicker bars a day. It's just not.
So what you're saying is Ixnay on the Snickers. Ickersnay? Yes,
Ickersnay.
Ickersnay. And I'll just have my 2 glasses of wine instead of Snickers.
Exactly.
So, substitute, get my antioxidant. So, and we could, elevate this shit. Frozen grapes
Ooh.
in my red wine.
There you go.
Yeah, then we get our antioxidants and our wine.
Right?
And we'll just do 2 glasses.
There
well,
we go.
You'll do 2 glasses. I'll tell you to do 2 glasses, but
There we go.
yeah.
And then the last thing I want to talk about is that whole drinking before we sleep. See, I'm bringing it all back. This was my very, very last point in all of my notes. And it is, you really don't want to be drinking right before you go to sleep. And the big one is it's bad for your sleep. You will pass out faster. So if you are insomniac, sometimes, I'm not advocating drinking to get to sleep, but it could help you pass out. But alcohol does keep you out of the deeper stages of sleep that your body desperately needs. And there is a lot of research that shows time and time again, and again and again and again and again and again, that sleep deprivation leads to weight gain.
Yo.
So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to drink my 5 glasses of wine before bed. Yeah, I've upped it. Yeah, 2 glasses of wine before bed. No, more is better. 5 glasses of wine. If you're thinking of becoming a super lush right before bed and you think it's going to help you lose weight, it's not going to help you lose weight, kid. Fucking A.
Fucking A, kid.
And don't fucking have that. For fuck's sake. Use the fucking tea.
All right, so... that's pretty much all of our things on alcohol. We're gonna start wrapping up. I know I do, and I believe Abby does. We have a few fun alcohol facts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give you a fun alcohol fact.
All right.
So it was during the Prohibition when cocktails gained popularity. They were offered to mask the flavor of poorly made alcohol. Popular cocktails included Mary Pickford, French 75, Barberry Coast, Bee's Knees, and the Sidecar. I don't know what any of those things are, but I think we should try those in the future.
I am in. Next podcast. So let me give you a fun fact. So when it comes to the spelling of whiskey, sometimes we see it W-H-I-S-K-Y or W-H-I-S-K-E-Y. So which one is correct? The answer is both are correct. Whiskey without the E, so just Y, is specific to Scotch whiskey, whereas whiskey with an E is Irish.
So fun with whiskey. So Mountain Dew. I'm a hopped up on Mountain Dew. I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey. So apparently, Mountain Dew was made to be mixed with whiskey.
What?
And apparently, Mountain Dew actually was a nickname for whiskey. Specifically Highland whiskey. And these 2 dudes trademarked Mountain Dew and decided to make it as a mixer for whiskey.
Whoa.
Right?
That's crazy.
Exactly.
And now it's just what you give your toddler pageant.
Yes, I was going for that.
With your
go-go juice.
Your go-go juice. Oh god. Oh boy. But
do you have another fun fact?
I do have another fun fact, and I really should have started with this one because you talked about Prohibition. But my next fact was about during Prohibition. An exemption was made for whiskey, prescribed by doctors and sold through a pharmacy because of its medicinal benefits. So if you needed to get that hot toddy, you would be able to get it even during Prohibition. And they believe the Walgreens pharmacy chain grew from 20 retail stores to almost 400 during this period.
Shit, son!
Right? So, you know what? If you're wondering why is there a Walgreens on every block, literally everywhere in America, I think you might be able to thank whiskey for that one.
Yeah. I have one more fun fact for alcohol. I think it's by far my favorite. In Ohio, it is illegal to get a fish drunk.
So some laws are reactive. I want to know if that is a reactive law.
I need to know. I didn't because I was doing it at work. But I would love to know the story behind
Right.
why that needed to be a law.
Right. Well, actually, it might. Well, no, this one's from 2000, but it might somehow tie in. My very last fun and wacky fact kind of is on that line. This happened in 2000, where a wild turkey whiskey warehouse caught fire, and it spilled 17,000 barrels of flaming whiskey into the surrounding woods. Right, and it caught a blaze. So 20% of the whiskey flowed into the Kentucky River, which disrupted the river's oxygen supply and killed 228,000 fish along 66 miles of the river.
No.
So I don't think that is the reason why you can't get a fish drunk in Ohio, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was like, man, that broke the law. Those fish got drunk.
All right, so before we wrap it up, one more thing. Corner of shame. Cone of shame. Right, so last episode I was talking about jewelry, and I misremembered what my mother told me, who used to work in jewelry. So I talked about using baking soda for jewelry. And she was supposed to text me, yeah, Mom, I'm calling you out. You were supposed to text me, and yes, maybe I should have texted you before I recorded this, but whatever. She said vinegar is what she used to clean jewelry. But she did tell me you need to be careful with certain metals when using vinegar to clean jewelry. So yeah, vinegar. Right, so wrapping up. So we have lots of social media accounts that you can follow us on. You can find us on Facebook.
Yes, we can. Cheers to Adulting.
Cheers to Adulting. You can find us on Instagram.
Which is Cheers to Adulting Podcast.
Because someone else has Cheers to Gold.
Cheers to that word.
Yes. We are on Twitter, which is Cheers the number 2, like poo. Adulting. Cheers to Adulting. We're barely using that right now.
It's kind of our number 2.
We'll get there. We have a website coming soon that will be cheerstoadulting.com. You can email us at cheerstoadulting@gmail.com if you have anything interesting that you want to share, that you think is adulting, any triumphs or struggles that you want to talk to us about. Maybe we'll have an episode that we share stories like that. We are available on pretty much all podcasting platforms. If there's a platform, well, obviously if you're listening to this right now, obviously you can reach us. But if there's another platform that you prefer, I'm sorry, I'm getting really stuffy. So congested. Let us know if there's another platform for podcasting that you want to reach us at. If you didn't know, right now, this podcast is being recorded on video form. So you'll be able to, if you prefer, you can watch this on YouTube, on our Facebook page. You can find a link to that. And we also have a super fun video of me showing Abby how to fold a fitted sheet.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so we're hoping to do a few of those before we start to make that exclusive to Patreon donators. So we should have a Patreon account set up in the future soon. Please, 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 please rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. It helps. It really helps. Abby?
I really don't have anything else to add other than it really is, I can't stress enough when it comes to us little guys. It is word of mouth, it is reviews, it is people subscribed. That is really how we get out there. You know, we're the little people. We need you. So
we need you.
I need help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
Oh, I love you. All right, so that's Cheers to Adulting.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to adulting.